Hello class, we are in week 6 of Human Resources Management. Everybody has done a really great job at getting the work in, and I know sometimes it can be difficult, but you've all done a really great job. So let's talk a little bit about week 6 because your work this week is going to be a little bit more labor intensive. And due to the fact that it is a little more labor intensive, let's try to knock some of the questions out the way. I have received some PowerPoint presentations to see if you're on the right track. So let's talk about that first. When you do a PowerPoint presentation, there's an area at the bottom. The area at the bottom, the very bottom, that's where you can put notes that explain the information that you're presenting in more detail. That information that you're presenting in more detail, you don't want to put every single word on the slides because you don't want to overfill or overflow, or you don't want to stuff your slides with all kinds of information that's not going to be visible. Think about your high school cafeteria or a cafeteria where you've been before, or an auditorium. Even if you had a very big screen in an auditorium, think about it. What can the last person at the top see in that particular auditorium? At the very back, what can they see? And that's what you want to focus on. PowerPoints are visual aids, and they should not have every single word of every single piece of everything that you're going to discuss in them. So it should be the basic information. But inside of your module, you have some information about what should be on them. One thing is that you want to pick a position from your organization. If your organization is Sears and Roebuck, you don't want to pick a position of a mechanical engineer. Unless Sears and Roebuck has mechanical engineers, which I could be wrong. Maybe they do. But choose a cashier or a manager or a retail associate or something like that. If you don't know the kind of jobs that your particular organization that you chose, that you've been working with all of this time, if you don't know the particular jobs that they have at that organization, I suggest you go to somewhere. You can Google it. You can go to that company's website. Now, some companies, they're going to say, we're not hiring right now. But if it's Sears and Roebuck, of course, they have cashiers or retail associates. So that was just my example. But you can use a little bit of educational, hypothetical reasoning to choose one position from your organization. You're going to take that one position. From your organization, choose one position. You're going to take that one position, and we're going to do a salary survey on that particular position. Now, it's interesting because, again, with Sears and Roebuck, you can find them in various states all across the nation. Pick a location. And that location can be Cleveland, Ohio. It can be San Diego, California. It can be Austin, Texas, whatever it is. But you want to pick a location. The location is important because in your assignment, you are going to take that position. So if I say a cashier from Sears and Roebuck, and I'm going to pick Dallas, Texas, I need to do the salary survey based on a cashier in Dallas, Texas. And that particular job description or job title is going to be what I'm going to base my salary survey on. So in your mind, you want to kind of pretend like you're hiring a cashier. So what do you want to pay them and how do you want to pay them? That's what salary surveys do. And some people call them compensation analysis. And they're similar, not exactly alike, but pretty much similar. Sometimes you're going to get positions and you're going to need to have to figure out, what do I need to pay this person? And it's going to be based on a lot of factors if you do your research, and it depends on the position. I once had a position to fill for a metallurgical scientist. Despite the fact that I had no clue what a metallurgical scientist is or was, I had to find out what they were being paid. Now, that was an international position because metallurgical scientists are all over the world. But it is a top-ranking, high-ranking position. And I needed to know, what do these people make? So my salary survey, actually for that position, I actually had a budget in order to research and find out what is competitive, what is the average salary based on the information that I can find, and how to move forward from there, and what my recommendations were for a salary, and also based on that person's previous, well, their education and their previous experience in their previous position, and what they were being paid in that previous position. So there's a lot of things that go into compensation and compensation analysis. However, let's get back to our cashier. So what you all are going to do in this particular, at this time, choose a position from your organization, figure out what the location is going to be. And it says to use 3 different companies, salary information companies. They give you 3 in the module. So use the 3 in the module. That's perfectly fine. They give you, I know they give you Monster, Indeed, and I think salaryinfo.com. But it's in your module. And you can use those 3. You can just plug in the title of the position as well as the location. And it's going to give you the information that you need. Take that information and utilize it in your PowerPoint. That's what you're going to do. If you don't want to use those 3 and you want to use some outside source, I'm okay with that as well. That is perfectly fine. So now you have a position. Not only do you have a position, you have a location. And now you need to find out what that position makes from 3 different websites, pretty much. And you're going to take that information, and that information needs to be inside of your PowerPoint presentation. Then you're going to use 2 references as well. Not necessarily those 3, 2 additional references that support the information on the salary information that you are utilizing for this particular position. You can find that. You should all by now be a member of SHRM, Society for Human Resource Management. You can find compensation analysis or salary information, how to determine salary, or whatever it is, however you want to word it. But you can actually do a search in SHRM and you can find out information that will support how it is that you did your compensation analysis, your salary information, and how it is that you provided the information or where you got the information on the slides. It is a minimum of 5 slides, so please make sure that it's 5 slides. Please make sure that you have a title slide. That's where your points are going to come in. You're going to need a title slide. What I will do for you, I'm still going to post some pointers on your PowerPoint presentations. PowerPoint presentations, you shouldn't have very little teeny writing. You shouldn't have a whole lot of information, a whole lot of writing. Color is good, but you don't want to overdo it, underdo it, overwhelm. And you want to make sure that you do have some kind of a chart or graph or something that explains your point within your PowerPoint presentation. So that's kind of where we're at. But let's talk about compensation analysis a little bit more. And I know I'm just now figuring out. I thought I had it all figured out about the video. But that's good because I'm going to come to you. I'm going to video you to whatever smithereens, because now I'm speaking to you. So take advantage. I'm not going to make them all long. I'm going to try to keep them between 5 and 10 minutes. But compensation analysis is a very, very important part of human resources. Even if you're not going into human resources and you're doing management. The company that I work for right now is like I said, we're federally regulated. We're a gas and oil company. We're federally regulated, and we need to be competitive with other people in our industry. In addition, because that's the way you're going to find the best people for the job. If you're not being competitive in one way or another, in that competitive atmosphere, and I'm jumping a little bit, but that competitiveness is not just in a salary. So even though what we're focusing on right here is salary, the whole benefit package, when you are offering a potential employee a position, you need to make sure that they consider the whole benefit package. When I was actually hired on, I received a benefit package that included the cost of benefits that they paid on my behalf, the AIP, which is basically the bonus program, 15% of, if we meet our goals, 15% of my salary, I received information about my salary, about the 401k match, and everything. So when I received it, I had a number that was way above my salary. But in all honesty, all of that compensation came in different forms. 401k, benefits on what they paid on my behalf, and different things of that nature. And all of that really does, for a candidate, it really does factor into the equation, and a candidate should consider that information. It is very, very important, because maybe this company over here, company A, is saying, well, we're going to give you $50,000 a year. The benefits, we pay our own benefits, and the company doesn't pay any of the benefits, so all of that's going to come out of your pocket. So that's an additional $400 a month. We don't have a 401k or any kind of match or anything, and we don't have a bonus program. So it's $50,000 a year in the salary, and that's pretty much about it. No other perks or whatnot. And let's say company B over here is going to pay you $45,000 a year. But they're going to give you a 10% match up to 15% of your salary. That's free money. Speaking of which, anybody who's doing 401k, if your company offers a 401k plan, invest. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about investing or whatnot, but contact a financial consultant. That is basically when your company provides a match, even if they don't. It's invested in your future so that you have a retirement. But if the company does provide a match, it is a good thing. The younger you are, the more you'll accumulate. The older you are, the less you'll accumulate over the years, depending on how much you put in. But that's free money, quote unquote. But that is a benefit. And that is a part of your overall compensation package when a company offers you that. So, we talked about the PowerPoint. This week, we're on Wednesday. Make sure that you are timely with your discussion. I have not made any suggestions or talked to anyone about the discussion this week, but the discussion this week is information that's going to be beneficial to you. Feel free to go inside or go onto the SHRM website and say, you know what, I read something, or get an article, pull an article about a topic or something that is relative to the compensation analysis or anything that we've discussed, and put that on the discussion board. But salary is important. Like I said, if you're not even if you're not trying to do a career in human resources, when someone says you have a degree, an associate, a bachelor's, or whatever, or a certificate, we're going to, and you have 10 years of experience in your field, we're going to give you minimum wage. Besides, somewhere in your mind that you're thinking, ding, 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 is that right? Or how did they come up with that number? Or how did they come up with that figure? You want to know how to do your own compensation analysis. And your salary, and where you get your salary, and whether it's hourly, salary, monthly, annually, you want to get that information. You want to be able to do that yourself. And that's why this particular chapter is important, whether you're going into human resources, whether you're a manager. When someone offers you an amount of money, you want to make sure that it's fair and reasonable. And it's an industry standard, and it is. All salaries should be based on a multiple amount of different factors. The geographical location is definitely going to make a difference. You can definitely find salaries for executive positions that are high in California and high in Ohio. But a cashier at McDonald's is not, and no offense to its working in fast food. I appreciate all of those people because it takes a lot. That's hardcore customer service. But a cashier at McDonald's working in Ohio starting out is not going to make the wage that a cashier in California is going to make. And that's because of the geographical distance and the cost of living. It's still probably not enough to just, depending on what part of California and all the other different things. Same thing with New York. it's going to depend on a lot of different variables. But when